Welcome back to Building Mindset Solutions. Now, are you leading an exhausted workforce? Have your customers been, unusually irritable lately? And are people taking forever to respond to emails that you have sent? Are friends and colleagues making, surprisingly life changes and of late they have been running away from you and your social capital is reducing day by day? Have you lost focus during important conversations and felt like you're just tired? Now, all these are behaviors, different as they may be, are responses to the overwhelming circumstances people are facing as we move into the, you know, as we move away from the pandemic. Now, nearly everyone has lost someone or something. A job, people lost jobs, relationship, the peace of mind, and any hope for a clear, definite end is dashed. And all these kind of crises, if not well managed, they might lead to an exhausted workforce. An exhausted workforce will be there, and people will be there who are working as per compliance with no commitment and passion attached to what they are doing. And because of this collective grief and that pressure that is pushing from all sides, we find ourselves that we keep making mistake repeatedly because of being under pressure. And therefore, we cause additional anxiety on top of already the pressure we are already dealing with. And such a time as that is when that that workforce needs a role model. You need to have what we call self-care. It's not a luxury, it is an essential. If you are tensed, you are irritable, you feel withdrawn and you are the leader, or you feel volatile, you are moody, your team may suffer similarly. And if your view of reality is wrapped by denial, delusion, and all that, and you thinking that team's ability will have action, forget about it. If you act out in harmful ways or make rash, inconsistent decisions as a leader, you will destroy trust and morale will definitely be eroded away from the team. It is important to bring humanity, or rather your humanity, in front and at the center. Be a role model for managing inevitable human imperfection and mental flexibility, emotional openness. Get healthy habits. How many hours do you sleep? Do you take a day off? What about your mental flexibility? In times of crisis, there is greater need for that mental flexibility. As new information is constantly coming in and circumstances constantly change, yet this kind of flexibility is still harder to achieve when you are facing stress, trauma, fatigue, and it will create a mental fog that you not be able to see the end at the end of the tunnel. Your vision becomes blurred. What you used to see as achievable now becomes an impossibility. Now, at work, it is important actually to make a regular, what do I call, a regular habit of asking for input and admitting what you don't know, admitting what you cannot be able to achieve. Normalize and destigmatized by admitting mistakes. Acknowledge conflicting impulses and values and make it okay to change your mind when new information comes in, and learn to apologize without embarrassment when you need to do that. Apologize without embarrassment. Now, at home, when you get home, consider a personal practice to get yourself out of that mental ruts. Spend time in nature. Just move around, start a new hobby. Just take meditation as part of life. Anything that uses different muscles in the brain and creates an opportunity for reflection survives. Get into what we call, emotional openness. Acknowledge when you are having a hard time, or if you are not on top of your games. Acknowledge that. Look for a confidant, someone that you will tell the truth, someone you approach and tell them, man, you know what, I'm doing this work, but I'm not well. Things are not okay. There is a balance to be struck. Every leader cannot share every passing doubt and fear. But more importantly, it's better not to lean on the team members for emotional reassurance, but look for somebody. Look for someone. Don't die alone. Don't die alone. It is not their responsibility to tell, it's not your responsibility to tell people everything, perhaps because of your ego, but ensure you have someone you can run to. Adjust appropriately, because this one will bring what you call a healthy behavior. Ideally, you have social or emotional support outside the office, because there is your spouse, there are friends, there could be a therapist, a religious leader, or even a personal board of directors. Check in those people, those folks regularly. Check in those people. Add, take care of yourself in all those simple aspects. Sleep, exercise, eat well, hydrate well, and ensure that you have mental downtime. When you have mental downtime, make sure you have somebody to talk to. Make sure your team has what they need to do things for themselves. You are not God. You cannot be everywhere. They likely don't need advice on what to do, but the practical resource: time, skills, money, equipment, and perhaps access. Some of us cannot even allow the team members to access your monitor. I don't know what you're hiding there. To do it, so make self-care a regular topic of discussion in the office. Self-care. Make it an agenda in the meeting. Occasionally begin a meeting by asking everyone to state one good thing they have done for themselves. It may not be work related, but it is meaningful. It's a meaningful conversation they have had, and it is going to help them. This one will lighten the load that they could be feeling, that they are carrying, will be lightened. Stress has a cumulative impact, friends. It has a cumulative impact for the body and brain. There's no difference between deadline pressure, an argument with one spouse, financial worries, and that dog that won't stop barking. Does that sound familiar? And the computer that keeps crashing. In the same way the computer keeps crashing, friends, is the same way that if we don't lighten the load, we are soon crashing. We are soon crashing. The patience, the self-control will go a long way. The perspective and attentiveness will soon be diminishing. And wisdom to deal with this situation all come out of the same fund. It's psychology. All of them are psychological. And for a lot of people, we live in arrears. Living in arrears, we live in unpaid debts for our body, unpaid debts for resting, unpaid debts for sleep, unpaid debts for that time you cannot afford to do homework with the young one. And even before we think about it so quickly, the disease of despair creeps in, including depression, anxiety, and soon we get into addictions. And friends, due to this, we keep adding anxiety. And when anxiety is added, what actually happens is that we end up leading an exhausted workforce. They will not quit. They will be around you for activities. They will keep your culture, but they will not be committed. They will not be passionate. And all these might end up, some in serious conditions or diseases, or even death. Friends, are you working with an exhausted workforce? Are you the exhausted person? Take your time and meditate and take a rest. Even God Himself took a rest. Thank you. See you in the next video.